Women successfully treated for depression with electrical brain implants. Physicists make the most precise measurement ever of neutrons' lifetime. And scientists found modern domestic horses' homeland in southwestern Russia. I'm Nidhi Kumar and you're watching Science Time, a show that brings to you the best that science offers, from exciting developments in science and technology to futuristic solutions. Let's move on to story number 1. Women with severe depression have been successfully treated with an experimental brain implant in a stunning advance that offers hope to those with intractable mental illness. The device works by detecting patterns of brain activity linked to depression and automatically interrupting them using tiny pulses of electrical stimulation delivered deep inside the brain. For now, this treatment is likely to be used only in people with the most severe depression, as it involves 2 brain surgeries as well as days of recording the brain's electrical signals to work out a pattern of activity or neural biomarker for each individual's symptoms. These results provide a hope that a much needed personalized biomarker-based treatment for psychiatric disorders is possible, says Catherine Skanagos, the lead researcher at the University of California, San Francisco. The results of the study is published in the journal Nature Medicine. And let's move on to story number 2. Well, an international team of physicists led by researchers at the Indiana University Bloomington has announced that the world's most precise measurement of the neutron's lifetime. This may help answer questions about the early universe. The results from the team, which encompasses scientists from over 10 national labs and universities in the United States and abroad, represent a more than 2-fold improvement over previous measurements with an uncertainty of less than 0.1%. The average time it takes for the subatomic particle to decay is 877.75 seconds, according to an experiment that used the magnetic fields to trap ultra-cold neutrons. The results have twice the precision of similar measurements and are consistent with the theoretical calculations. The latest measurement was presented at a virtual meeting of the American Physical Society on 13th October and published in Physical Review Letters. The work sets a new gold standard for a measurement that has fundamental importance to such questions as the relative abundances of the elements created in early universe. Let's move on to story number 3. Well, much of human history was made astride or beside a horse. The animal's stolid speed and strength powered massive migrations of people, pulled plows that transformed agriculture, and revolutionized warfare. Now researchers have pinpointed where and when horse and human history became intertwined. Ancient DNA reveals that the modern domestic horse originated on the vast landscape of what is now southwestern Russia more than 4,200 years ago. In just a few centuries, these horses' descendants spread quickly across Eurasia, supplanting almost all previous wild horse populations. Orlando and colleagues analyzed ancient DNA from 273 horse bone specimens from across the continents, spanning 50,000 years of human and equine history. For most of that time, genetically varied wild horse populations were scattered across Eurasia, but starting around 2000 BC, that variation vanished. By 1500 to 1000 BC, domestic horses from Spain to Mongolia all descended from the same population, which the researchers traced back to more than 4,200-year-old specimens. And 2 genes were distinctly different in these modern horse progenitors and may have aided this rapid expansion, the researchers found. In studies of humans and mice, those genes influence endurance, weight-bearing ability, and docility. Selective breeding by humans could have recombined 2 really good factors not present in any horse. Orlando says, I quote, that created an animal that was both easier to interact and move with, unquote. Humans may have tamed horses before, but it wasn't until this point that our relationship with horses really took off, He says, this is the moment in history horses made history. And with this, it's a wrap on this edition of Science Time. We'll be back with more interesting stories from the world of science next week. Do keep watching Science Time every Friday at 9 p.m. only on India Science. Namaskar.